And now they're all coming in. Good morning. I'm going to have to put this on because I've got to be back in a second. Sorry. I will start in a minute.
It's like circus without trapeze net. I think they're waiting for her to have a rupture or fall over. That's why people watch, like looking at a car crash. I used to go to Zippo's circus with my son because he was obsessed with circuses, and they made so many mistakes. It used to make him day, you know, when they're doing the plates and the plates spinning. He used to love them watching them cock it up. Singing. Yeah. He sings baritone. He did the Christmas lights.
We went to a friend's party.
Yeah, and he does weddings and anniversaries.
Thought it was him doing the singing.
Yeah, he's very good. Does a lot of weddings and like silver anniversaries, gold anniversaries, old people's. And he does the garden centres at Christmas.
Now, did I tell you I was walking Scotty? And Scotty knows you.
Well, the thing is that he lost loads of money when COVID hit because of the lockdown gave him extra money, and now with the cost of living, Ukraine war, heating bills. Doing an 80-hour week, and he really suffers if Jack who's got half term or a day off, he is so stressed. She calms him down. She really does. She's very calming, but when she's not around, he is so stressed. Most of her job is calming him down and saying, "Look, I can do it. I'll back you up." It's just partly the psychological as well as her physical presence. But she does calm him down.
Well, it's very difficult. You're trying to get a class and
Yeah, they're coming over from town because it's so jam-packed.
yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So I think they've just hit the boredom factor and they're all right, we'll go and have a look at the cafe. Cafe's kicked out by our set because they would go down the street.
Yes.
When it's quiet, you come by our set. It's so loud, you can hear it.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Right, I'm back. For how long? Who knows? Right, let's see who's on YouTube. Hello, Rosemary. Hello, Liz. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Judith. Where you
We've got
from?
our Rosemary.
Sounds like yep, it is. Who we got on Facebook? Morning, Mandy. Morning, Jill. Devon. Oh, a couple of you from Devon this morning. Morning, Shiraz. Morning, Camille. Morning, Joy. Lock the door. I can't lock the door because I've got people in the classroom as well today. I can't keep them in here. It's called kidnapping. We have morning, Libby. Morning, Judith. Right. So we're using metallic watercolour today. And the set I'm using, let me enlarge the screen for those in the room so they can see a little bit easier. And they'll see what you see. Oh yes, you're in Wales today. Dydd Gwyl Dewi Sant hapus i chi. There we go. So these are the Artway Shimmer metallics that I'm using. Oh, hi Lynn from Denmark. And hello Lee from South Africa. How lovely. Hi Mary. Hi Mandy. They would love it stuck in the art room. Not with me, they wouldn't. Not for long. So you can see here, this set I've got. We did order loads in for the demo. Morning, Julie. Solihull. What Bab. See how bilingual I am. It's good, isn't it? I can go from Solihull to Welsh straight away. These are £17. We did order loads in, but I did a mini demo. And we sold out of most of them, so I've only got 2 sets of these left at the moment. But these, you've got yellow, gold, turquoise, pewter, iridescent purple, bronze, pearl black, copper, leaf green, pearl cobalt blue, pearl pink, antique gold and silver. And that's £17, which is quite nice actually for the set, because they're full pans. If you notice, they're double the size of standard watercolour. But we do also carry a couple of the Derwent metallic paint sets, which are £25.99, so they're a bit more expensive, and you can see the colours that they have along there, but they're half pans, but they do come with a small brush pen. And we have the Van Gogh watercolour metallics, and that's £44.95. And how many do you get for there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You get 12 again, and those are the colours for that. Morning, Melanie. There we are. Wonderful. So that is that's the metallic watercolours. They've come. Morning, Janet. They've come on quite a lot over. Hello, Zubaida. How are you? Come quite a lot for over the years, and they're sort of more like gouache in the sense that they're opaque watercolour to get the shimmer. Because a transparent watercolour would be too transparent and you wouldn't really see the shimmer, but you'll see when it works. And the paper I'm using this morning is oh, it's still showing live on mine. There's 20 of you. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. The paper is Van Gogh watercolour paper, so it is actual watercolour paper. It is about 300 GSM, so it's nice and thick and textured like watercolour paper, and it's really lovely. But you can use metallics on white paper. I just thought it would show up a bit more on the black, and it does. It's really punchy. I'll use my normal 3 brushes, which is my number 2 pointed wash brush, a number 4 round, and a number 1 miniature painting brush. Although I don't know if I'm going to do the back. What do you think? Should I do anything in the background? And if I do, I'll ask you in the room as well, just in case anyone online wants to chip in.
We have a branch.
Have a branch. Well, he's going to be on a stump, but what about a background? Do I do anything or not? What do you think?
I think you leave it black because it's going to
Leave it black. Yeah, it is. It is going to make it more.
Timing as well.
I'll see what it looks like when the bird's in, because I can add a bit of background, because I might need something around the darker areas of the bird, because I'll probably leave that black paper, if you know what I mean. Well, Patricia's like, no background. Right, let's make a start. What's cool about it, because they are water-based, they're water-soluble, so you can mix them if you want to get different colours. So obviously the colours aren't going to be exactly the same as a Kingfisher, because I'm using metallic paint, and a Kingfisher isn't made out of paint. Good morning, Lynn. Well, they're all saying leave it black, but Joy's saying hues of green. We'll see. We'll have to see. So I'm just soaking this a little bit and bringing it up, but you can see how it's catching the light. This is called Shimmer metallic, but I do want a little bit of, do I want a bit of green in there? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that blue will be enough actually for our Kingfisher. For the back, I'll just show you what it looks like on him a little bit. So it might look white for now, and I'm doing little short feather strokes. Now the problem is with metallics, if you dilute it too much. Good morning, Sue from High Wycombe. Lovely to have you with us. If you make it too dilute, you see, the problem you'll have is that it will stop, it will reduce the metallic, it will reduce the shimmer in the paint because you're diluting it. Makes sense really when you think about it. So the thicker you paint it, the shimmerier it will be, but it will only look in camera, it will only look you might need to refresh Shiraz, because the Facebook feed is notorious on lives for just disappearing. Let me type that. So I'm doing little short strokes. I don't want to wash it all in. Got my ceramic palette here, otherwise known as a bathroom tile. No expense spared. Slightly longer on there. So it's interesting, that's the blue I'm using, but it doesn't look that blue on camera because it's only when it catches the light. So that's the danger of metallics. When I did the demo a couple of months ago on painting metallic objects, we talked about using metallic paint to render something that looks metallic, and it doesn't work because it has to catch the light in order to look metallic. So this will look good when you angle it a little bit. But what's that colour? Let's try this colour. Bit of pewter maybe. How different's the pewter? Because that looks quite blue. It's a slightly darker version. Thank you, Rosemary. So you treat it as normal watercolour. I'm going to work from light to dark, and I'm looking constantly at the reference image that I've got in front of my face, because when you're drawing something from life, you do need to know it's roughly in the right places. But it is nice and shimmery. I'm tempted to add other random colours, but I won't, because then it won't look like a kingfisher, will it? But I was saying to Jane before we went live, I believe the kingfisher is related to the kookaburra, because it has a very similar shaped face if you think about it. So I'm leaving some of the, I'm in with the pewter now, leaving some of the darker areas on the head because it has got black tips to the feathers. But for the white parts of him, I am just going to use white gouache rather than metallic, because that will help the metallics look metallic and look like I meant to make it metallic, not that I've just run out of any paint and I've found something that would possibly work. People like to find ways to criticise, so if you can reduce that, it makes a big difference. So I'm not going to come any further down the back just yet, because I want to concentrate on his face. But you can see it's looking a bit bluer now, isn't it? Now there's more of it on the screen. The camera tends to freak out a little bit when it sees when you've got a big expanse of black and a little bit of colour on there. And I think let's try that black, because I did a piece of holly in metallic in these paints before Christmas, and I think we sold a few of our sets then. But there's me. I went downstairs this morning in preparation for this, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll just check the stock so I can put the link on so you can all buy it, and then I haven't got any. I've only got 2 left. Rubbish planning. So I'm just going to do the highlight in his eye. Black. And a little bit on his beak. So it'll be a shimmery grey. So have you got me running twice, Rosemary? You've got me on YouTube and Facebook. Most people can only stomach one lot of me, but well done. I want to keep his beak black, so he should start emerging, but I think you might change your mind about some part of a background, because I want to leave the black showing through, because you can see that the metallic black is actually more of a grey. It's like a carbon grey that's quite shimmery. It is a lovely lovely colours. They really are. Well, they're metallic, aren't they? That's what they are. Now I reckon that copper would be lovely for his orange bits, don't you? When I'm doing wacky stuff like this, I always feel like Tony Hart. Right, where's the orange? There's a bit of orange there. Now hopefully the orange and the blue should start to work together and show each other up. So little short strokes. We have ordered, those of you that have been watching our reels, we have ordered 2 more boxes of those watercolour pencil palettes that we showed you last Monday, because we sold out by the end of the day on Monday. We posted it at 6:30 in the morning, and by 10 o'clock I'd got none left. So thank you for purchasing. But I think we've already got almost 1 box reserved for people who have been coming in trying to get it. Yeah, the other side, the smooth side would work with these paints, yeah. But you do get, like with this set, you do get the lid as a palette as well. So there's lots, you've got one of these. What, this set, Mandy, did you, I can't remember if you ordered one from us, didn't you? I know we sent some stuff out to you. They are lovely and opaque, so in terms of watercolour, you wouldn't necessarily, if I used normal watercolour on black paper, you wouldn't see it because they're transparent. But you can still get lights and darks. So if I, like I was saying to you earlier, if you reduce the amount of paint and increase the amount of water, you make them transparent. So the black shows through. So you're able to get lights and darks in the same way as you are watercolour. More paint means more pigment, less paint means more whatever your background is.
And your brush merges with the black paper.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's true.
It's quite funny to look at.
It's like that. Yeah. As a child of the 80s, I grew up watching Words and Pictures, and you had a magic pencil that would write the letters top to bottom, down and round and flick. I was obsessed with that. So you can puddle. So because it's water based, you can splosh it about, and you can the palette. Thank you. They are fab. You probably get cauliflowers and all sorts with this. Oh good, I'm glad, Rosemary. You see, where watercolour metallics come in is they're great for cards, greeting cards and things, because you can do all sorts of stuff with them. I'll see if I can dig out the holly. I saw it earlier on when I was looking for one of the signs. Got too much stuff in here. Bit of orange, bit of orange. There's a little bit of orange on his wings. Just a little flash there. You see, because it's so metallic, you can see how that's dried. But it's the way it reflects the light is very different to the way watercolour reflects the light. Now, I want a tiny weeny bit of copper.
When it's dried on your palette, can you reconstitute it?
You can indeed, yeah. Because it's like watercolour and gouache. Let me show you. There you go. You can lift it back up again. Oh, it's a bit reflective. And then you've got your paint back. So you don't lose any. So it's best off keeping, if you're going to do metallics, keep a palette aside just for your metallics, because even the colours that are on there, you can just lift off again and reuse. And it does make your water all like a magic potion. It's all shimmery in there. Right, it's very blue, this Kingfisher. I want to put in a little bit of teal. I know it's not teal, but I like that colour. I like that colour. I'm sorry, Mr. King. Do you know what? I'm going to mix it with the blue on here.
Do you get metallics in gouache?
You can get gold and silver,
Right. Not
but
like this.
this is basically gouache.
Right.
I think, because of it being so opaque. Oh, I like that. I'm sorry, Mr. Kingfisher, for totally changing the colour of you, but I like that colour.
I thought they have. I've only seen a kingfisher once close up, but I thought they do have.
They're sort of in between blue and green. They're a nice sort of cerulean or teal. Trying to order what, Jean? This set, one of the last two. Just if you go, it's definitely on our system because I saw it this morning and I had to change the stock levels. Jackie, if you're watching, can you help?
If you've got none left, Barry, how long does it take to get set in?
What are these metallics? We order very rarely from this company, but if I know I've got quite a few people wanting them, I'll do an order. Then it's usually about a week or two of this paint. Yeah, it is lovely. It really is. Let me switch to a slightly bigger brush. If you can find the search function, you can type in the word shimmer and it will come up because it's the only thing I've got on the stock system that's shimmer. Try more of the colours. I will use more of the colours. I will. I promise. I promise. But I don't want him to be a multicoloured bird.
That peacock we did in soft pastels would look lovely.
It would. Peacock would be amazing in this. It really would with that. Why didn't I think of that, Viv? Why didn't I think of that? I've got, oh, that's a nice colour as well, that champagne colour, so I'll try that on part of him somewhere. So if you struggle to get it metallic, just give it a spritz. Thank you, Jackie. You just give your palette a spritz of water, hot water or warm water, softens it faster. And that way you can really go to town on it. Now this is going to be white, so that'll be gouache. White gouache I'm going to use. Although there is, I think silver's going to be too similar to the blue. But it's amazing how it just suddenly starts coming out. I think you need to, April, get your black paper out, absolutely. The Clairefontaine, if you haven't got black watercolour paper, Clairefontaine do a paint on mixed media black, which we used for pastels on Thursday. So that was a mixed media paper, and that works well for this because you're not actually using tons of water. You're only one left now. Okay, thank you, Jean. We'll be posting off on Tuesday. I'll take it off the shelf as soon as I go back downstairs. Yeah, I'll check the orders before the end. It's funny when we used to have, when Shop Happy existed during lockdown, they always used to send me a message and say, have you just done a demo by any chance? Because we've just had loads of orders coming in at the same time for the same subject, and I say, yeah, it's me, I'm afraid. But you can get as much detail or not if you want, and you can use it in conjunction with gouache or watercolour. So let me show you with a white watercolour, which I'd already squeezed out in anticipation for that white flash. Gouache is much more opaque, but it does, let me put a little bit of light just in that eye there, but it somehow it accentuates the metallic part of the paint. because it's not metallic. So you can see that some of it will shimmer, some of it won't shimmer, and that will work really nicely together. And he's got a bit of soggy feathers just hanging down from his chin there. They're nice and noisy in the cafe today, aren't they? I want to use this sort of champagne bronze. You see, I wouldn't have said this was bronze, but then there, like that. Oh, do you know what? There's a little bit of it just there. I could get carried away with this. Thank you, Libby. It's getting there, isn't it? It's getting there. You see that the difficulty lies in the decision that when you're doing something like this, do you do everything plus the wood plus the background in metallics, or is that overkill, or do you just reserve the metallics for the thing and then do normal colours for the rest of it? Normal colours, absolutely. It can just look too much. And if the whole thing shimmers, it's like one of those kid sets that you'd have, you know, and it kind of loses the attraction, I think. But I do want to try this purple. Can we have a purple Kingfisher? Let's see.
Ruskin's got a bit of purple round his back end.
Right, well.
On the wing, there's little bits of purple on the wing. And
Let's
on
see then.
the
Let's
rear
do it. Let's do it because it's a lovely colour.
Because he's definitely got a tiny little bit of
Oh, look at that! It's beautiful. Because it's metallic. What's fascinating? You see, when you're working with a palette like this, the paint is about that thick, isn't it? It's a thick piece of paint. So you're looking at like a million layers of paint all condensed.
Yeah.
But when you break it down, this is actually an electric blue, which you can't see. I can, but you can't. It's quite magical, this. I'm going to put a bit on here. You can see it. Is it showing up now? So it doesn't look purple. That looks really purple. This is quite blue. And it's because as you dilute it, the colours that make it granulate. So they spread out and they do all sorts of interesting things. Oh, let me stick some more up here. Sorry, Mr. Kingfisher, you're just going to be everything today. Oh. Oh. But it does show you that you can mix them as well. You're not totally tied. Isn't it? It's always relaxing watching someone else doing something, isn't it? It's when you've got to do it yourself that's the problem. So I'll do a little bit of purple here, but then I'll... So as I'm going on top with this colour, it kind of blends with the colour that's underneath a little bit. So it mixes because it reawakens the colour a little bit, which is quite nice. It's lovely, isn't it? It is, absolutely. Because if I wanted to do... Oh, Joy's ordered this as well. Go onto YouTube, Shiraz. Use the YouTube link. It's a stable connection on YouTube. How have you outlined the beak? All I've done is use the metallic black and outlined it slightly higher on the top, because I don't want to colour the whole beak in, because the beak isn't metallic colour. So I've just outlined it enough for it to work, hopefully. Yeah, unfortunately, Facebook loves us doing live feeds, and then it gives us the worst connection in the world for doing live feeds, which is why we stream on YouTube as well, so at least you can access it both. But I've not been aware of anything from my feed being too bad. It was 4:30 in the morning, Ramona, where you are. Wow. That's dedication for you, isn't it?
Where is she?
Cheyenne, US. Wyoming, is that? Lovely to have you with us. I probably pronounced that wrong. I apologise if I have. Everything I pronounce has a Dudley twang to it, though, so. So here, I haven't gone far enough with the copper, but what I can do is just wet it and blend it if I want to. Yeah, Facebook is just a pain in the bottom. We used to do all of our classes on live private Facebook feeds, but it was so unstable that the students couldn't actually watch the lesson, which is what it was all about. So we had to move to YouTube. And it's funny because Facebook is interesting because they mark me up or down on how prolific we are on Facebook because we're monetized on Facebook. So they want us to be more active, but then equally they make it difficult to be more active. So I can wet some of that a little bit more. But yeah, if I was doing this on white paper, I'd probably have to use black gouache for the shadow bits. Because pencil wouldn't work in the same way for the darks. Now that looks white there, but it is. If I change the light, let's turn the light off totally. Can you see how it's shimmery? It's beautiful. I love it. I have got my gouache set knocking about for the log. Now his feet are a really interesting colour. I'm going to try mixing copper and they're like a vibrant red orange. So I wonder if copper plus pearl pink. What will that do? Oh yes, that's also the thing. You can't say aubergine or banana on a live stream, because it thinks you're being rude, so it will hide your comment. Yeah, yeah. And what was annoying, I think it was YouTube that was hiding it as well as Facebook. I was actually doing a demo on painting a banana in gouache. So every time anyone was commenting the word banana, it was hiding the comments, and I couldn't see what people were saying. And they're like, why can't nobody see what I'm doing? And I'm really sorry. It's because of the world of emojis, you see, that kind of thing. Yes, unfortunately, the filters are really good at filtering out that, but not actual abuse, which is hilarious. Because I do get a fair bit of abuse, which I love dearly. Yeah. Oh, I do. I had a lot of abuse, Jane, from a painting because I had a hangnail on my thumb. I had a bit of loose skin on my thumb as I was painting, and people were very angry about that across the world, all ages. Yes, I can't watch this because of the flap of skin. Well, I know. Well, what I then did is I created a Facebook page called Barry's Hangnail, and I went and commented on everybody's comment to say thank you for noticing me.
I didn't realise you were generating revenue then.
No, well, no. Every comment helps boost our revenue. Not that we get a lot. We get about a penny a day, which is amazing. But you know, it all helps in the long run.
I was reading this morning about the Sikh artist who raises funds for charity, and he paints large animals like elephants,
Yeah.
patterns, and he said a lot of the American and international abuse was based on the fact they'd never seen a Sikh doing a demo.
Oh, okay, that's
And he
interesting.
got a lot of racist trolls, but he managed over the years to turn them around to become fans because they were so impressed with not only his painting but who he was doing it for. He raises funds for charities like hospices in Birmingham, and he's quite a popular sort of Sikh
Yeah.
fundraiser for charities.
I think sometimes it's easy to be fearful or uncertain of things you don't know, isn't
Yes,
it? The fear of the
exactly.
unknown.
Obviously, in some parts of the States, they just, you can't imagine the Sikhs in Texas.
Well, no, well, that's it. It's interesting, isn't
So
it?
it was the fact that they weren't used to Sikhs,
Yes.
and he managed to turn their trolling around, so they're now
Excellent.
some of his top
Big fans.
when they realised
Oh, you had an advert, Rosemary.
that he hadn't got horns.
Could you skip it? So I'm just softening underneath the wing to take off some of the colour. Oh, thank you, Barbara. It is interesting. It is really interesting. And from my eyes, the way I'm looking, where the white gouache is, it looks extremely flat. You wouldn't believe how it looks so different compared to the metallics. And obviously, because you could think, oh, well, what if I want to lighten the colour? If I go in with some of that orange colour that I've been using for his chest, can you see, look, when you add the white gouache, it's no longer metallic and it goes a horrible colour. So you can't lighten the metallic because it no longer looks at all. So that's just with white gouache. And that's the original colour. So it kind of bleaches it and loses the metallic part of it. So lightening it isn't really an option. You'd have to use a white gel pen or a white gouache on top, but then again you're going to lose the metallic part of the element. I might, do you know what I might do? I might do a few bits of green reeds here in metallic, just because I can do what I want, can't I? It's my shop, it's my painting, it's my demo. But I won't, because you'll all tell me off if I do anything too much. So if I go in with a bit of brown gouache, standard gouache, just for this branch thing that he's on, bit of gouache, bit of black. You can't. Well, you can, but this is me. I've made this palette and I've squeezed my gouache in it. Because it just, once it goes hard, you just, yeah, like it turns it into that. So this is, yeah, gouache comes in tubes. These are this is the Winsor & Newton designer gouache. It's quite expensive, and what I found was that I was wasting a lot because I couldn't keep my palettes around. So I thought, you know what, if I just squeeze it in here, I'm only wasting what I'm washing onto the palette, which is a very thin film by the time I've finished. So yeah, I devised this way a while ago, and the gouache is interesting. You know I love gouache anyway, but you can get nice textures and you can highlight it, but it's fully opaque. So I can leave the dark in there if I want to. I can reduce the amount of paint. Shimmery reeds. Oh, thank you, Andrea from Arkansas. Lovely. Could I use a silver to lighten? That's an interesting question. Should we try it while we're here? Time is passing by, but I'll give you a few minutes extra because I disappeared to serve. I'm nice like that, but don't tell everyone because I've got street cred. Can't have people thinking I'm nice. There's a little bit of white in there. Yeah, I'll try that. That's a really interesting experiment while we're here. And again, I want it to look like I've bothered. A lot of the time when you leave things in art, it just looks like you've not bothered. So you have to leave things whilst also looking like you are bothered. Oh, it's lovely that what time is it in Arkansas? Is that about 4 o'clock in the morning? I love getting people from all over the world. It's really special. I know we used to have Brian in Hawaii, and it was he sometimes watches our demo, and it's midnight in Hawaii while we're doing this, so he stops up, so he watches us just before he goes to bed, which is lovely.
It's just got kids now.
No, that's Kevin. He's in Maryland.
Oh right. That's when my stepmother's from Baltimore.
Do a little bit on there. Like it's holding on to that. So the metallics will be metallic and the non-metallics are non-metallic. Let's hide that out the way.
That's a nice hollow stump.
It is, isn't it?
Really
But it's it's just about leaving the black but enough. But because I didn't have it really runny, it gave me the dry brush technique that you get in watercolour, so you can do a lot. So I've got a bright... sorry April, I'll do your bit first. You said can you lighten with the silver, so let's try that again with the copper as an experiment, because I'd not really thought about it. Let's go in with the silver. Depends how much white pigment's in the silver, doesn't it, I suppose. Oh, that is interesting. It has changed the colour though, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily lightened it. I could put the silver straight on, couldn't I? But it will depend as well. If the silver's got blue in it, it will change the colour as well. So it has sort of lightened it more than the white, because that's the white one. But it doesn't have the same glow. Can you paint over gouache or watercolour with metallic? Yes, you can. The only difference will be that you've got to be a little bit quick, because it will reawaken what's underneath, if that makes sense. It will what's this? This is leaf green. Perfect. Let's do a few. Vary the pressure. And I'm going to have to do a broken one or something. What's the other green? Turquoise. Turquoise might be a bit too strong. But I could try darken with the black. See, the black darkens, which is interesting. But it doesn't look as dark. I could just use...
Really reflects the light, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think it's also because I'm having to do it more fluid to work, if you know what I mean. So because it's more fluid, you can see the I think it's mica powder they use in these. I'll have to put another little bit there because I feel I have to. I don't think I can do any more, do you? Have I missed anything else?
Don't do any adder.
Just right.
I won't be an adder, I promise.
You won't be an adder.
I won't be an adder. But you can paint over with metallics with gouache, and you can paint over gouache with metallics. As long as it's dry, you can kind of do anything. So it's quite fun. So that's let me unstaple him, and then I can shimmer it on the screen, and then after we finish the live stream, then you can sort of see.
Have you got a board under there?
Just my drawing board, my normal painting board.
Yeah.
So you can see the things that are shimmery. Let's put my lamp back on. but look at that. The white stands out like that because it's the only thing that's a constant. So the way it catches the light is really, really lovely. Obviously, if you add more water, it becomes less metallic. I will photograph this, but be warned when I photograph it and pop it on Facebook, it won't look that metallic because I can't make it shimmer. Now next month, we are in, the 6th of April next month is the next free demo at 11 o'clock, and it's watercolour techniques explained. So I'm going back to basics, and I'll go through all the different types of watercolour techniques they are, how to use the paint and what they are, what is wet in wet, what is dry brush, what's a wash, all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully, a hummingbird would look amazing in this, Rosemary, absolutely. There are so many things that you could do with this. What I will do when this is totally dry is I can spot areas where my pencil lines are showing. Actually, do you know what? I need to add one more thing. And I'm not being an adder, I just do need to add it. He's got like a orange tip to his beak.
Yeah.
There we go, done. There are so many things. Yeah, the purple's amazing in the shimmery, but a peacock tail or just one peacock feather, because you've got the greens, the purples, the oranges, the yellows. You've got it all there. Or a bird of paradise, absolutely.
If you framed that,
Yes.
and put it on the wall, would the metallics eventually dull down? Or was it
I don't think they will, because it has got sort of an iridescent mica powder to it, so it should always have a shimmer.
yeah.
But again, it will be sort of it will be where you stand, how it catches the light. But you could do that to your own advantage. You could make it so it doesn't look metallic from one angle, but looks metallic from another angle, or a different light. Or in the day, it will look one thing, and then you turn the light on, and it'll be something else. So yeah, it's watercolour techniques next time. So any questions about watercolour, that's your time to do it. And again, it'll be live on YouTube and on Facebook, providing that it's fairly stable. And I don't think I'm ready for a live on TikTok yet, because I need a second camera or a third camera or something for that, and I don't know if I've got the energy. But thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing what you do with metallic paint. So take care. Bye bye.